everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. So before I get into today's video and today's Bible study, we are going to go into Genesis 35. But before I get into that, I got a couple announcements I want to hit you guys with. The first being why I didn't post a video last Friday. Okay, I post a video every Friday and Mondays. Actually, it should be Monday and Fridays, but you get the point. Okay. For two reasons, I did not post a video for last Friday. And it all comes down to one single thing. I failed at something, okay? So, last Friday, I was supposed to do a topic covering stuck in sin and fighting the flesh. And, well, it's not done. It's still not done. I'm going to try and get it done for this coming Friday. But that is the first reason why I did not post a video last Friday. I did not get that topic done. The second reason why I didn't get it done is because I failed to think that if I didn't get it done, I would have a backup video. And I didn't have a backup video. Or video topic, I mean. I didn't have anything to go backing up as to like, hey, I didn't get this done, I should do this instead then. I did not have a backup video. Okay, I didn't think I was going to, I didn't think I was going to not get it done. So that is my fault. Because I didn't get it done, I didn't have a backup video, and you guys didn't get a video last Friday. So what I'm going to make sure I do is, regardless if I don't get this, I'm going to really try and get this Stuck in Sin video done for this coming Friday. I'm going to be working my butt off all week for it. If I still don't get it done, just on the in case, I'm going to have a backup video on the in case that I don't get that video done. That way I can post something regardless this coming Friday. You guys just won't know what that backup video is until I actually have to post it and resort to it. Okay. But that is what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and have a backup video on the in case that I just, for some reason, I just can't get that video done for that week. But I'm going to really try hard. Okay. I have all of this week to get it done. Now, going on to the other announcements I have. So the first announcement I have is I was able to go to church yesterday. And, well, let me first explain, okay? I missed service, okay? I just started my Monday through Friday shift literally last week. So I'm still kind of stuck in that same situation of I usually work Sunday morning and I'm asleep until around this time. So I didn't get to go to church. I got to go to church, but I didn't get to go to the full entire service. I missed like the first half of it. So I missed the most of the message of what was going on. I got like the last 10 minutes, last 15 minutes of service. And I am partly glad I missed it, but I'm partly disappointed I did miss it for two reasons. Actually, no, I say not even for two reasons, for one solid reason, that is it. The main reason why I'm kind of glad I missed it is because of this. And I know it's ironic and it's terrible. The main reason why I'm glad of that, for that reason, is because on the TV, it's live, and I watched it this morning, so I was able to pause it and go back. Pause it and go back. And I did that like more than a dozen times. The only reason why I am disappointed I missed it is because this is such a powerful message. It would have been amazing to see him in person for this video. Okay, this video was talking about shame, and like I said, let me just show you. Okay, go take a look at my Instagram account and look at my shorts, because I will put these in shorts for you guys. But I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically 6 pages of notes. And the entire time that I was taking notes, I was pausing it and going back and trying to write down exactly what he was saying. Now, if I was there live in person, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Now, I know I probably could have gone and seen him in person and listened to it, and then came back and watched the sermon again, because they do record it, they do post it up on their webpage, on the YouTube page here, and then I could have done it that way. But like I said, I was still in the mindset of my old schedule, which means I slept until like 10 o'clock yesterday, and I didn't get up on time to go to church for first service. Okay, but starting this coming Sunday, I will be going up to go to first service, and then I'll be going to the form group that they take place for second service. I have an alarm set, but I'm just saying, just for this one time, I'm kind of glad I didn't go, but I'm disappointed I didn't go, because this was an amazing sermon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link you guys my church's YouTube account down below, and I'm going to link you guys yesterday's sermon directly, because this sermon I believe everyone should watch. This is, I really believe this is pointing to every single Christian and the Christian life. Okay, now I want to read one thing here. It says, the key to a Christian life is the removal of shame, and the breakthrough we want will happen. That is the whole entire point to this message. And like I said, this is an amazing sermon. Go watch it. I also went to the forum group yesterday, which is a group that's held in a smaller area by a friend of mine who actually is the one who did my baptism. And they had another pastor coming over and talking there, and he gave a whole entire lesson on why discipleship. And that one was just as impactful as it was the shame off you message that they gave in the sermon. 2 messages in one day, really impactful. Both of them felt like they were talking to me, and it was amazing. I am so glad I'm back in church, and I'm even going to my friend's Saturday group where we go do a hike. We get to have food afterwards, and I guess we talk about the Bible and all that kind of stuff as we're hiking and just enjoying nature and everything. So I'll be doing that with them Saturdays. And so yeah, like I said, I'm really back. I'm back in church because I was really missing that. I was really missing my friends. I was missing just being able to have fellowship with people who are like-minded, because unfortunately I am in a pagan household, and that's really difficult. I mean, I think that's one of the things that's really kind of hindering my growth and spurt to a better relationship with God, because like I said, my old man is a pagan, my roommate is a former pagan, and then unfortunately my kid, well, he's not pagan, but he's a kid. He's not really anything. I mean, I take him to church, and I'm trying to get him involved in the church, and he absolutely loves my church friends. He actually calls them church aunties and church uncles, and he looks around for them when we go to church. And it is absolutely sweet. I'm trying to get him more involved in church, and hi, sweetie. And it is just, like I said, I'm glad to be back in church. Regardless of what video I do this coming Friday, I have something I'm going to be showing you guys. So I went to Goodwill the other day, and I got a couple articles of clothing that I'm going to be using towards my modesty project. They're going to be replacing some of the clothing I have. and I am going to be continuing to buy more clothes that are going to replace certain other articles I got. But I do want to show you a couple of the ones I got from Goodwill over the weekend, and kind of explain why I got them. They're modest. So one of them, unfortunately, is a tank top. But like I said, I'll explain that all in this coming Friday's video. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into Genesis 35. Though I'm not making this video too long, okay? So we are going to go into Genesis 35. Alright, so again, we are reading from the ESV version. If your version is slightly different than mine, then it is going to be different wordings and so on and so on. Let me turn this down a bit. There we go. Okay. So this is God blesses and renames Jacob. Alright, so it says, God said to Jacob, "Arise, go up to Bethel and dwell there. Make an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you, and purify yourselves, and change your garments. Then let us arise and go to Bethel, so that I may make there an altar to the God who answered me in the day of my distress, and has been with me wherever I have gone." So they gave to Jacob all the foreign gods that they had, and the rings that were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree that was near the Shechem. And as they journeyed, a terror from God fell upon the cities that were around them, so that they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. And Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him, and there he built an altar, and called the place El Bethel, because there God had revealed himself to him. And when he fled from his brother, and Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried under an oak beneath Bethel. So he called its name Alon Bakuth. And I probably butchered that. My apologies if I did. And God appeared to Jacob again when he came from Padam Aram, and blessed him. And God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. No longer shall your name be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name." So he called his name Israel. And God said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you, and kings shall come from your own body. The land that I gave to Abraham and Isaac I will give to you, and I will give the land to your offspring after." Then God went out from him in the place where he had spoken to him, and Jacob set a pillar in the place where he had spoken with him, a pillar of stone. He poured out a drink offering on it, and poured oil on it. So Jacob called the name of the place where God had spoken with him Bethel. Now this goes into the death of Rachel and Isaac. When they journeyed from Bethel, when they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel went to labor, and she had a hard labor. And when her labor was at its hardest, the midwife said to her, "Do not fear, for you have another son." And as her soul was departing, for she was dying, she called his name Ben-Oni, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died, and she was buried on the way to Ephrath, that was Bethlehem. And Jacob set a pillar over her tomb. It is a pillar of Rachel's tomb, which is there to this day. Israel journeyed on and pitched his tent beyond the tower of Eder. While Israel lived in that land, Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. The sons of Leah, Reuben's firstborn, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram. And Jacob came to his father, Isaac at Mamre, or Kiriath Araba. I am terrible at these names. I apologize if I'm butchering them. That is Hebron. And Abraham and Isaac had sovereign. Now the days of Isaac were 180, and Isaac buried oh my goodness. And Isaac breathed his last, and he died, and was gathered to his people, old and full of days, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. There we go. Oh my goodness, that was terrible. I kept butchering everything. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the notes. The notes are pretty straightforward. Now granted, there are some things that they're referring to, like the name, like what certain things mean, the symbolic part of it. But for the most part, this chapter is really straightforward. It goes into how God first tells Jacob to get up and go to Bethel and make an altar there. And Bethel is the place where he should have gone in the first place. Okay? And he makes an altar there, and it's God's way of trying to basically tell him, hey, resume our relationship, resume the life of worship there. And Jacob is basically telling his family to get up, put away the household, the foreign gods, and that's he's kind of referring to Rachel, or not, maybe not referring directly to her, but his words are meaning to Rachel because she did keep her father's foreign gods, and then to purify them, change their garments, which that is an important step because that is a spiritual symbol of purifying themselves, and that he was telling them, hey, we need to rise, go up to Bethel, and make an altar to the God who he answers to, who has been there with him since day one, since literally day one. So they gave Jacob the foreign gods, and the rings are in the ears, and the rings are a pagan connection, and he hid them underneath a tree near Shechem. Now, in a sense, that's kind of like burying it and just kind of getting rid of it, kind of thing. And then as they journeyed, a terror fell upon the cities that are around them and made it to where they wouldn't pursue Jacob or his family because God was basically giving them protection, a safe journey from where they were to Bethel. And there they built an altar, and he called it El Bethel, which El Bethel means God of Bethel. Now, though Jacob did initially sin, he eventually did what was right by God. And then it goes into this woman named Deborah, who happens to be Rebecca's nurse. Now, we don't really know anything about her except that she was of some importance to the family because she's mentioned in the Bible here. But she's also someone who was loved because they didn't just say she passed away or anything. They said that she was buried under an oak beneath Bethel, and they called it Alon Bakuth, which means oak of weeping. So she was someone of importance to Rachel and to the rest of her family. Now God appeared again to Jacob, and this was like kind of like a saying of relationship restored. That their connection with one another is back to where it was. And then he immediately, right after that, blessed them. And then he gave him a name change, which again, the name change is kind of referring to the fact that the relationship between the two of them is restored. Originally, he gave Jacob a name change back in chapter, what was it? When he wrestled with God. Right here we go. Back in 32, when he said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob but Israel. Okay, and now he's saying your name is no longer Jacob, it should be called Israel. And then he tells him, hey, I am God Almighty, be fruitful and multiply, and a nation and a company of nations shall come to you, or come from you, and kings shall come from your own body. And then he says, he reminds him of the promise that he originally made, that says, the land that I gave to Abraham and Isaac, I will give to you, and I will give the land to your offspring after you. So he's basically just reminding him of the promise that he made with his previous ancestors, and now this continuing with him. Now God went with him to the place where he had spoken with him in bodily form, and Jacob sets up a pillar there. In the place where he had spoken with him, a pillar of stone. And he poured out a drink offering on it, and oil on it, and he performed his basically sacrificial acts of worship to God. And then he named the place Bethel. Okay. Now we're going into Rachel's unfortunate death and Isaac's death. Okay. Now they depart from Bethel, and they are starting to go the distance to Elprath. And then Rachel goes into unfortunate labor on the road with her newest son, Benjamin. Now, unfortunately, it mentions that she had a hard labor, which it does happen. Long labor means long hours, extreme pain. Now, back in the day, they didn't have the technology we do today. If you go into hard labor, you can just go get a C-section. But we don't have that technology you do today. Back then, they also didn't have the, some of the technology that helps turn a hard labor into a little more easier. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Unfortunately, they don't have that kind of. They don't have that kind of technology back then. But her midwife goes and tells her, says, "Do not fear, for you have another son." So, in a sense, she's trying to reassure her that she does have another son with Joseph. She still has him. Joseph is alive. Joseph is well. So if for some reason this child doesn't survive, she does have Joseph, which is biologically her child. So in a sense, she's trying to comfort her because she knows this labor is hard. Now, the other thing she could be trying to do, she could be just trying to soothe her, because by the looks of it, it's the child's not going to make it, or it could be that she might not be making it. Okay. And then it goes on saying, as her star was departing because she was dying, there was no way to save her. Like I said, back then they didn't have the technology that we do have, so her labor, she's gonna die. Okay. She called his name Ben-Oni, but his father called him Benjamin. Okay. So Rachel died, and she was buried on the way to Ephrath. And Jacob set a pillar over her tomb. It is the pillar of Rachel's tomb, which is there to this day. And he's basically sitting on a pillar because, well, one, life doesn't really come easy, okay, at that point. And then, well, it was an unfortunate death, and we weren't exactly pointing. Now, Ben-Oni means son of sorrow. Now, Benjamin, however, means son of right hand. Okay, so those are the two different names. What their names mean. Then it goes into how Reuben decided to sleep with his father's concubine, which is probably the most offensive thing that he can probably do. But for some reason he did. And Israel heard of it. Okay? And that was Reuben. Reuben is the oldest son, oldest child that he has among any of his kids. And he decided to sleep with Bilhah, which is, like I said, Jacob's concubine. Okay? Then it goes into the names of Jacob's 12 sons, where it has Reuben, Simeon, Levi, etc., etc., etc. And he goes into who their mothers were as well. And the whole point to this is it's kind of showing the dysfunctional system of this family and how God will eventually use this family. This family will become a big important factor in the rest of the book here. And then Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre, where Isaac and Abraham sovereigned. And it's saying that the days of Isaac were 180 years. So he's 180 years old. And Isaac breathed his last, and he died, and was gathered to his people, old and full of days. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Okay, now they are once again together, his two sons, Jacob and Esau, together to bury their father. And at that point, that's really solidifying the fact that those two had actually made up. They made up just in time to say goodbye to their father. Okay, and then they had buried him in Mamre. Mamre, or that is Hebron. So at least they were able to see him one last time. And they were together when they buried him. So that is really sweet. I like how that ended. But I really like how they're mentioning all 12 sons. They're mentioning that the sons of Rachel, the sons of Bilhah, the sons of Zilpah, and so on, and the sons of Leah. They're mentioning the sons by each parent individually, and you can tell this is a dysfunctional family just by reading up to this point. And then as you get further into the rest of the book, you will see just how much God can actually use this family. And it is pristine. It's awesome. I love it. Okay. Try to familiar the curse that Jacob is bringing. Okay. And I think that is it. That's all I have. Yeah, that's all that I have for this chapter. So great. So luckily, I'm done with that chapter for now, and we are getting really closer to the end of this book. Like I almost can't wait to get into Exodus. Now I will give you a heads up for next Monday. We are going to go into Esau's descendants. I will read that, and we're not really going to go too much into it because it's literally just names and whatnot. But we are going to also cover 37 next week as well, which goes into Joseph's dreams, or at least we might not go into all of 37, since 37 is kind of long and there is a lot of information I do. But we will go into 37 starting next week and go through 36 as well, because 36 is just names. So yeah, go ahead and hit the like button, share button, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell button so you get notifications for when I do my Bible study for next Monday. And then, of course, like I said, and this coming Friday, I will be doing another video, regardless of what topic I'm doing. I still have a video planned for this coming Friday, and I will show you guys a couple of the modesty clothes I just bought that I'm compiling into a big video of covering on modesty. So, yeah, I actually can't wait to this Friday. It's gonna be a fun video. But yeah, go ahead and take a look at the description below, because like I said, I have my Instagram account in there. I have my church's website in there. My church's Instagram account in there. The yesterday's sermon link in there. Let's see what else. And I think that's it. That's quite a bit of information already. So just go ahead and take a look at the description below. I will put a bunch of information in there for you guys. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's study. If you guys learned something about it, hit comment below. If you didn't learn something about it and you are confused about something, comment below. If there is a specific topic or discussion you want to have covered, comment below. Okay, just anything. Okay, just give me any kind of feedback. Like I'm just trying to get you guys someone to comment below and just tell me something, even if it's just saying hi. At least I got a comment. But I'm just trying to see who's actually watching this. Okay, because I usually typically put this kind of stuff at the end of the video. So, like I said, it lets me just know that someone's actually watching to the end of the video. And that's kind of all I'm really hoping for. But yeah. Alright. I'm going to let you guys go. And I will see you guys this coming Friday. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. And, well, enjoy whatever weather you have. And next, I'll see you this week. Love you guys. Bye.